Jean-François, some big stories right off the bat today, close to home for you. New poll, the Palace poll, shows that, and I think the story is if an election were held today, not only would the PQ win, but conceivably could win a majority government. They pulled ahead even more of the CAQ. So first of all, I guess, just your reaction to this story today.
Well, first of all, I know, Aaron and Natasha, you're very interested in my contribution as a window into French Montrealers' life and linguistic interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I want to keep you posted. And today I could not be served in French in a bistro on Côte des Neiges, close to Concordia. And so I just want to keep you abreast. It had been 2 weeks that this didn't happen. The person was very congenial. So I chatted because I knew I would report. And he was from Asian descent, was in Montreal for 10 years, must have been about 50 years old. He couldn't tell in French what was on his own menu. There was no one else to cater to customers who were mainly Francophones. And he said, well, I did know some French, but I forgot, and it's too complicated. So that was it.
I'm shocked. Honest, I am. So, and he's been here, you said, for 10 years?
Yeah. No, as I say, I mean, when us Francophones meet, which we do regularly, at some point the conversation comes on, okay, so what's your latest anecdote about that? And so we share anecdotes. It's not a huge thing, but I met someone to whom it never happened. I said, okay, well, great, it never happens to you. But for most people, we all have anecdotes for the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we feel that that we have more anecdotes now than we did 5 years ago.
Okay. Here we go again, but I have a lot of Francophone friends, like a lot, and they're out and about a lot. And I mean, it's going to happen. I'm not denying. I just don't think it happens.
Wait a sec. Are you saying you don't have a club that gets together to talk about anecdotes of times they weren't able to be served in French?
So I have
Is
some
that possible?
questions. Were you? I mean, not that it should make a difference. I'm just curious. It was an Asian restaurant that you were at?
No. It was a bistro, served all kind of sandwiches.
Okay.
It was in a big immeuble building with a lot of offices
an office
dentists
building
and so on, and open to the floor. So it was not this corner back in an alley with Chinese texture.
I'm kind of disappointed.
Was it in the Faubourg?
No, it's on Côte des Neiges.
North of Sherbrooke.
North of Sherbrooke, okay.
On Côte Sainte-Catherine.
Okay.
On Côte Sainte-Catherine. Okay. I mean, listen.
Sorry, on Côte des
not on
Neiges.
Côte des Neiges, that's what you had said, yeah. So, I mean, listen, I think it is going to happen. I always wonder about the circumstances. Was it convivial, like the exchange between?
No, he was charming. He was charming.
Okay. But this is totally unacceptable to you.
It
should be.
You know, this is the Francophone metropolis of the Americas.
Yeah.
So people should be expected in stores to speak French, or at least to have someone that can speak French.
Yeah, no question. I think we both completely agree with you.
So I do agree. He couldn't speak any French. You couldn't even go through the menu with him.
So do you want me to keep you posted when this happens, or just...
Well, maybe you just do it once every few weeks so we don't have to start and do this every week.
That's pretty much the regularity.
Keep a tally. You said it had been 2 weeks. All right. Okay. I mean, I do think it's unacceptable.
I would like to move on beyond this anecdote to the story today about the PQ, but I will ask you just before that, did he apologize at any point?
No, he was fine with the fact that he didn't speak French. It was complicated, but he said, as I usually say, I lead and I say merci beaucoup, and he said merci beaucoup.
Okay.
But for him, it was a normal thing not to speak French in a conference.
Okay, that's not good. Okay, let's talk about the poll then. And first of all, you obviously take, I guess, some great pride. Well, I'm just saying, for Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon to have done and continue to do what he's doing in this poll, pulling ahead of the CAQ and staying there. Because the question was, Jean-François, for a while, would this be a bit of a flash in the pan post the by-election? It looks like it's not.
Well, the first poll that showed the PQ pulling close and then ahead of the CAQ last fall, we could believe that it was a fling and a flash because of the reversal on, let's say, the third lane and then the subsidy to the Kings hockey team. But now it seems more entrenched, and it seems it's been 5 polls in a row that the PQ is growing and the CAQ is shrinking. And of course, these are exactly the same voters that switch from one to the other. And what we can say now, we can never say that this is going to be a stable situation until the election, which is 2 years away, more than 2 years away. But certainly the CAQ hasn't reached its bottom yet, and the PQ hasn't reached its ceiling yet. It probably has some ways to go, but even now, if there was an election, the PQ would sweep the CAQ's ridings in such a way, and I wrote a column last time there was a poll like this that was called The Last CAQist, that the projections show that the CAQ would only have one remaining riding, and that would be the riding of the premier. It would be the lone survivor of the PQ way.
I understand that as a setup. That question that always comes up, and it came up in this poll, is this idea that if an election were held today, the PQ conceivably would win a majority government. I mean, that's not the kind of headline that we've seen in a long, long time.
That's right. Just 2 years ago, the question was, will the PQ survive the 2022 election? And I had, at some point, there was a very reasonable assumption that Pascal Bérubé at Matane would be the last Péquiste. And I had told Pascal, who is a good friend of mine, and he was wondering if he was running or not, and said, listen, run, and if you're the last Péquiste, I will help you write that book with that title. And at least that's going to be a success. It's a nice story to tell. So now I'm not sure that François Legault will want me to write his book, The Last CAQist. So, we'll
Fair
see.
enough.
You keep us posted on that one too. Okay, I'm going to circle back to this incident that you had where you could not be served in French, and I'm not doubting you, and I don't think it is acceptable. I wonder what you make then of Quebec Solidaire, Ruba Gazal saying that companies, the onus should be on them to make sure that their employees can speak French. What do you think about this proposal?
Well, I support that. I think that there should be an all-out effort. And as I said before, I don't blame that person, that Canadian citizen of Asian descent, because there was no, I suppose there was no point in his path where someone said, you just have to.
Mm-hmm.
And so at some point you say, okay, we'll help. You have to, so we'll help you. And we will help you mostly in the workplace. And we will make sure that you don't have to travel half an hour to get to a French class. We'll have a French class in this building, and the government will share part of the load, and the employer will share part of the load, because it's going to better his client relationship, certainly, to be able to speak to Francophones in French. And so I think, yes, that should be part of the multifaceted effort.
What if we heard from some small business owners who said, fine, do that, and I just won't hire immigrants?
Well, it could have been true when the unemployment rate was at 10%.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, and that's why when you see the stats of the last 5 years, immigrant employment in Montreal and in Quebec is as high as non-immigrant employment. Why is that? It's because the last remaining xenophobic entrepreneurs had no choice to disregard the resumes with strange names, and you just needed someone, so they hired people who were there, whatever their name was. So this is one of great blessings of labor shortage, is that everyone has a chance. Even handicapped now have more chance of being hired with the support of government programs than before, because entrepreneurs want anyone who can do things will be hired. So that's a blessing for me.